Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Grand Campaign 39, and this time we are trying to beat Spoils of War. And this is the first one. I have to make some compromises here. I don't want to show you this one live streamed. We have to use a replay on this one. Because, yeah, I will explain you how I usually do this. Usually I start by, having an idea about the map, forming a broad strategy, then doing some initial tests, playing out a few turns, see how it's going. And if I'm happy with the result, then I do a first test run, where really that's a proof of concept, where I try to beat the game, and then I usually do a second run if it's a complicated scenario where I try to flesh out things and really make it perfect, and make sure that it's not based on luck and I can reliably reproduce the victory. And yeah, the thing is, I did the same for Spoils of War. Did in the morning today my first test run. Everything was easy. Not easy, but it was going well. And then I tried to recreate that, and yeah, it's really tough. You always get rain and mud, and something is going wrong. So yeah, I can't reliably reproduce this live stream, because then we would have to reload and restart all the time, and then it simply takes too long. So what I'm going to show you is the replay of my successful run. That's still a legit playthrough, so there's no reloading in there for, let's say, better rolls or something like that. Sometimes it's not like Iron Man, because I played that for proof of concept, so sometimes I reloaded in there just to try out different things and rearrange some things. You won't see that in the replay, but just to be fair and say it's not one go, and yeah, and it's not extremely fleshed out, so there's a lot of room for improvement in there, and I will try to point that out so we can make that interactive and show what's going well, what's not so good, where you can still improve. And there are some very critical moments in the game. Well, let's switch to the game. And yeah, let's see how it's done. And hi, Lieutenant Joker. So, Spoils of War on Manstein. Yeah, that's completely insane mission. I think that's the most difficult thing I ever attempted on Panzer Corps so far. So, yeah. And Lieutenant Joker, I think we'll be done in an hour, and I can switch to your stream then and watch your stream. So that's it. Without further ado, let's go into this. I will pause quite often here, just to explain things and see how it's going. And by the way, the complete Let's Play is based on a ton of scouting, so no guessing involved. It's all proper tactics and strategy. So let's immediately pause here and take a look at the setup. You saw me switching out a lot of units. The high gravity shadow, that's me testing out some units. That's what I was referring to as initial test phase, where I'm just fooling around with the game. It's all obviously in the replay now. And yeah, that's what I came up with. I fully did all strengths as far as I could. I brought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of artillery. Let's switch to the air. 2 fighters, one Stuka and one level bomber, you get awarded one of those level bombers from the game here. Not awarded, but it's an auxiliary unit. So let's take a look at the strategic map, and yeah, I will show you what I intend to do. So usually Goose says there's no blitzkrieg, it's slow and steady, but that's not true for this one. It's full out blitzkrieg and you really have to roll them over. And what I'm trying to attempt here, you will see in a minute, is a massive amount of Schwerpunkt maneuvers and yeah, relocating my units all across the map. So the initial move will be try to reinforce the thougths, smash them there, let them attack in the north. We are building a small pocket here, moving some units around and then trapping them and surrounding, well, building a pocket where we can smash another part of their army, and then it's straightforward push into them until nothing else is moving. So that's it. What we do initially is a lot of scouting, obviously. So brought my scout tank on this side, trying to uncover everything, using rail transport to already push forward my artillery, really trying to get all my artillery into position here, protecting it with the tank. And I will stop in a minute just to take a look at this one. It's not finished. Yeah, that's the problem with the replays. Let's switch to the Soviet side and see what they can see. So here they basically see nothing, and I can see this lot. I already anticipate that those units are going forward, so I positioned a level bomber already ready to bombard them, not to lose any time here. They don't see nothing here. Here we are still in the back. A lot of my artillery is concentrated here in the center. This is where I hope to trap them. And on this side, I just moved forward, not taking the city by, on purpose, just not to give them any information whatsoever. And it's interesting, it's the first time I'm seeing what the Soviets actually are doing here. Yeah, a lot of movement on their side. So let's see, that's my position. So what you can see here, first task we have is finishing off those two units, and that's not easy at all because yeah, 15th ranks units, even with all the stuff around here, it's tricky to do it. So I have a very special maneuver prepared for that one. Then we'll reinforce our position just to be ready to take any attack we are taking here. I reinforced this position, so this is the pocket I prepared. They will go in and then we'll go around and smash them. So that's the plan. Trying to weaken this artillery. Trying to weaken the scout. And yeah, and I'm trying to stop the replay. Yeah, now it worked. So what I did here, not destroy the artillery immediately. So I just wanted to suppress it. Then I forced this unit to retreat into this pocket here where I can force a surrender. Otherwise, there's no way to guarantee the destruction of this unit. And it's all about overkill. So you always want to assemble as many units as somehow possible that you can make sure to kill a unit. Don't let yourself stop by bad rolls. That's not an excuse. You really have to be ready to have an additional or 2 additional units ready to do something. You see, we have a ton of units ready just to make sure to kill them. And even if you don't destroy this artillery piece, it will go back here. And I still have my BF ready to smash it. One thing, it's quite important to damage this Soviet scout here. So another thing you could do, advance your Stuka in the first turn a little bit forward, because from the airfield it can't reach quite here. And then use your Stuka on this scout unit here, because you don't want to move it. You want that it reinforces in the city. That's kind of one of the key moments in the game. So, like I said, it's not flashed out yet. So improvement on this strategy would be using your Stuka, using your fighter, move the fighter back just to protect your Stuka, then move the Stuka onto the scout and make sure it's damaged so it will reinforce in the city. And then you have to use your BF to do the job on the artillery. And we have more than enough artillery ready here. We still have 1 in reserve, and this one could be used to finish off this artillery piece in the center. Yeah, that's about it. Finishing the encirclement. And now we are ready to receive their attack. Once again, you see I'm completely out of vision. That's why it's so important to get rid of those units. And now I can do some nasty traps here, as well as here. So I'm expecting the scout to move forward. It will run into an ambush, because the Soviets are hyper aggressive and you can use that to your advantage. So they will always run into you. And yeah, trapping 1 scout. And I want 1 scout to stay behind because we want to repeat that. And this scout probably will end up here. So it will uncover some of the units here. This will most likely trigger this T-26 because now they see something and I want them. They will use the road, so they will get stopped here and run into an ambush right here. Here I want to avoid detection, so being sneaky so that I can spring the trap later. That's it. Yeah, let's see. Protecting everything, really making sure to get them. And here you see first trap worked. Doesn't matter how much damage you do here. Next trap worked. Ambush the tank into the forest. That's always key here. So let's see what's the situation. One other key movement in this strategy is getting rid of this T-26S, and this was quite a lucky hit by this Gebirgsjäger. Usually you don't do that much damage, so to further improve the strategy I would suggest that to switch out those 2 units so that you lay out your first turns that the Panzer 1 is ending up here. Then this will have a very bad day, and you could even move the flak 1 hex forward and only protect the the Panzerjäger by 1 artillery. That's usually enough, and then you can absolutely demolish it with your flak. On average, this will survive at 9 to 10 strengths, and the flak in one go can do 10 damage, about that. So that's a pretty safe kill. So you can make that work, no problems and no luck involved here. You always have artillery ready to be able to finish off the unit. So that's that. Don't fire with this piece of artillery. I got lucky that I didn't do any damage here because we want him to move. We don't want to damage units because then they might stop and reinforce. And yeah, we only want it on very specific occasions. And usually we don't want to do that because we want to move our tank forward and then trap him moving. Getting rid of another scout here. So blinding them is the most important thing in the beginning. Making sure we can absolutely kill it. That's done. One moment. Using this opportunity to pull back the cavalry to get forward airfield. That's important as well, just you have a convenient base for refueling your units. Because every movement counts on this one. Here you can see I moved forward just to be able to trap another unit. And here we want to blind them again, so that they can run into our ambush a second time. This cavalry unit is threatening, so what we want is have as many units as possible go into this pocket. That's one thing, but the other thing is we want units attacking into this because our artillery is positioned right here. So this Panzer is a perfect bait for infantry units. They will always go for that because it's so tempting. And another thing, offer the Soviets a target for their air force. Don't protect everything. It's very hard to actually trap them because they have that many scouts and cavalry units in the beginning. So it's not possible to do a proper fighter trap most of the time, I think. But they are not stupid. If you don't offer them a target, they won't attack, and then you don't get rid of their fighters. So not protecting this Panzerjäger here is on purpose because it's in the forest. I don't care, it's only an auxiliary unit, and most likely because it's in the forest, the Soviet fighter won't do that much damage, and we can conveniently shut down any attacking fighter in this area. So yeah, bait them and destroy them. Let's stop for a moment and see what the Soviets actually can see. That's always very interesting. So they can see absolutely nothing here. This one ran into an ambush. Here they see a massive prepared wall. They see a vulnerable Panzerjäger, and here they see a juicy target I've not taken yet. So yeah, let's see if they fall for the trap again. Here we go. Another ambush. And massive damage on my Panzerjäger, so that's a bad roll. Usually you don't take that much damage. And unfortunately my trap didn't work because the scout uncovered my tank, but still decent result. And here now we see how they try to finish off this Panzerjäger. Oops, sorry. And that's another important thing. Pull units towards you so that you can conveniently destroy them without risking anything. Never move into those areas where you don't have any information, because you don't have any control. There could be anti-aircraft units, there could be artillery, there could be tanks. So don't move up unless you have protection. Yeah, here we can absolutely destroy a unit again, then trap this infantry unit. That's the plan, destroying this one and then moving up, because now we can control the vision. No more cavalry units or scouts around, and now we can start to absolutely trap them. And here, yeah, we have decent amount of units in the pocket, and now it's time to spring the trap. Uncovering the artillery in the process, but first priority getting rid of their eyes. And you don't need to get lucky with those rolls, because yeah, the pioneer is ready, it will move here and then you can destroy it. So there's no way you are getting that unlucky that you can't destroy this unit. And it's much more important to have a decent hit on this piece of artillery, and you will see this bad roll here will come back to haunt me a little bit. But this one has to go. And I want to prevent it from reinforcing, shooting down the fighter. Trying to keep my planes resupplied. Getting rid of their final scout. And then we try to finish off another infantry unit. Doesn't matter, because we are going well, doesn't matter if you destroy this one in one go, because you can always move up with this piece of artillery, take another shot at it. That's a pretty safe kill, and if all things fail, just move up one hex. It's not a problem. We are completely out of vision range, and that's actually not what you want. You want to bait them into attacking. One hex forward, artillery protection is not discovered, perfect trap again. Yeah. That's not ideal. That's not ideal as well. So what you can do here, moving this cavalry unit to protect your artillery, or use the cavalry unit on the artillery, and even better, use the Panzerjäger for this trap. And like I said, this is a proper let's play. I didn't know that there would be a scout coming up, so I didn't protect myself here. It's still decent tactic to protect your vulnerable flank, because we know something is coming that way, because this target is already taken. So just protect yourself, build another possible ambush, yeah, and finish off this scout in one go, basically. So that really helps and protects your artillery a lot better. This fighter might be untrappable, I don't know. It's debatable if it's worth blocking this artillery, because we can easily destroy it next turn. But now this tank fights for his life. Try to go through this bunker. Once again, using the Panzerjäger as bait. Another trap. And you can absolutely control what they're doing here by controlling the vision they have. So now we try to finish off another unit. We already know that this is safe because we scouted that earlier with our fighters. Trying to get rid of more units. And the south is already secure. And you see massive overkill here. We have so many units ready. And once again, trying to finish off the units with high vision range first. Focusing down another fighter. Focusing down the artillery. And trying to focus down the scout. It's a lot easier if you have trapped him before, but you can work him down nevertheless. The important thing is surround him so he can't reinforce. Other than that, again, we want to control vision, show them our forward line, build another row of artillery traps here, finish off the remaining units in the pocket. And here we just want to cover as much ground as possible while we can. Another trap that kind of works. And here comes the next wave of Soviet attacks. And the cavalry. Another trap. That was unintentional, but it still worked. If you're quick enough, you can shoot them down that way. Yeah, finishing off the remaining units. And then their first wave is eliminated and we can concentrate on the second one. Now we have air superiority, we can absolutely use that to our advantage. Again, surround them so they can't reinforce. And now we have to get rid of this anti-aircraft cannon. That's priority target. Because we have to deal with their bomber somehow. Yeah, and here you see when a replay does that, there definitely was a reload. And yeah, I don't know why exactly I reloaded here. Maybe I tested out something, I just don't remember. There's not really a reason, everything goes well. One moment, let's take a look at the Soviet side. Here I'm trying to bait another fighter attack. So there's a fighter in the back just trying to ambush them and at the same time scouting out those positions. Here my cavalry already scouted this empty city. Did they see something here? That absolutely doesn't matter. They don't see the traps. They see nothing here. So they will go in there and absolutely run forward. So most important thing on this one is controlling the enemy vision. Again, trapping them, using the Panzer as bait. That's the only thing, or the best thing he is useful for. Here they uncovered my position. That's kind of unfortunate. But we don't have enough units here at the moment. This will change because we will relocate our focus. But first we have to take the center. Again, what I plan to do here, build another round of traps using the Panzerjäger as lure. And you see, the poor victim already stands ready. Other than that, we can absolutely exploit this weakness here, push forward and try to finish off remaining units. And here we kind of have to stabilize our position, wait until those units are ready to again form another Schwerpunkt. Not taking any risks doesn't help, but avoiding damage, pretty important. Yeah, and now we can use Oledir to run forward, secure this position. And this we know is safe. This is our staging ground for the attack on those two cities. We will try to help out a little bit from the back, but for now this is safe and we can take our time. More important is to try to smash them and lure them in this 1000 center region here. And again, very important, we do our staging out of one moment. I know it's going a little bit quick, so if you want more information on something in the chat, just say stop. We can always take our time. Yeah, very important, do your staging outside of their vision range. You don't want to give them any information whatsoever. The only reason to do it, if you have traps prepared, like here, then we want them to see us. And we want them to see those two juicy, unprotected units they absolutely want to destroy. Yeah, and here they are unfortunately breaking our defenses. The cavalry unit just not strong enough to hold here. That's expensive. But again, can't believe that this Panzerjäger still is alive. And that's costing them and makes our job so much easier. So, once again, let's take a look at the situation. The strongest remaining force is right here. So I already brought up my 88 to deal with those tanks, because we know they are here. And we will use our Air Force and try to eliminate those as quickly as possible so that we can move up and ideally form a position along this river so that we can block any more reinforcements coming across this river. So that would help us to control the situation a little better. Then we want to destroy those two final infantry units, and here we want to slowly gather the units necessary to deal with them. Resupplying. Finishing off another tank. Yeah, those overstrength units against units in close terrain that are suppressed do massive amounts of damage. pretty hard hitting, but we have to get rid of them somehow. And that's, one moment, a slight mistake. It's better to keep the fighter above so that we block him from getting reinforcements again. So the center is secure. And again, stay out of vision range, stay out of vision range. And here we offer them our flak. That's a convenient target. And hopefully, yeah, that will distract them from attacking my vulnerable piece of artillery. Yeah, that's our turn again. The Soviets did absolutely nothing, I think. Yeah, and the Panzerjägers and actually the auxiliary units here are absolutely the heroes of the game. Yeah, and again, if you corner units, overwhelm them with superior firepower, then it's actually not that difficult to get rid of them. It's, yeah, on even terms, it's very hard to deal with them, but all those units against one single tank, that's not fair. You're always going to smash them, and pushing onto the river helped a lot as well. So really exploit the terrain, your positioning to your advantage. That's the only thing to break the Soviet units here, because they absolutely are superior. And yeah, Gravity Shadow, the Panzerjägers are the real heroes here, because they do a huge amount of baiting, and that absolutely helps. Same with the anti-aircraft cannon and our cavalry units. They are absolutely valuable. Surrounding them. Forcing another surrender. That way it's easier to get rid of them. Yeah, getting another hit here. I didn't manage to lure this fighter out beforehand. I really tried with my BF 110, but it just didn't go for it. I think there's a time trigger on this one, and there's virtually no way to avoid that. Just try to present. Yeah, you could constantly try to lure it out. That's the only way you can do it, because it's easy to trap here. Now we absolutely control what they can see, so yeah, no issue. You could definitely trap this one if you try hard enough. But once again, let's take a look what they see. Absolutely nothing. Here they only see something because of the fighter. Beforehand only the Panzerjäger was visible. Here they see absolutely nothing. So all those units are going to have a very bad day running into us here. And we absolutely see what's going on. Because we have a scout ready. because of the thick forest, this is an easy surrender. Now we can surround and destroy the last one. Should have used my PF. And Lieutenant Joker is saying that it's unlikely that the AI will attack BF 110s, and that's true, but not true for Manstein. They will definitely shoot down your Helmut Land fighter bomber here. One of those things I just shot down will absolutely demolish him. No questions asked, so don't expose him. That's not working on Manstein. They will absolutely shred it. Yeah, and again, using our massive air power to really get rid of them. And once again, we absolutely exploit our vision advantage. That's a possible trap. They can't see anything here. That's a possible trap. This is vulnerable, so we have to distract them. And that's perfect distraction. So they can't see the artillery in the background, but they will definitely go and attack those, and hopefully not go from a vulnerable tank. But since I have the units ready, I decided why not go for it. Take out another PT, or at least damage it, and more artillery traps. That was the most dangerous unit. And the 6th strength PT is not strong enough. Here I exposed my auxiliary unit, so that's not a problem. And finally, my cavalry unit is down. It did a great job. And what we want now is, smash the remaining offensive forces and gain as much information as possible so that we can plan the attack on the final targets. But definitely now the massive artillery barrages completely wipe them, and tanks in rough terrain are easy prey. Always try to use that to your advantage. Spotted something, immediately trying to destroy it. But now it's basically over, because now we have absolute control over the situation. We know what they are seeing, we know what they have. And again they try to attack the Panzerjägers. Nothing else they can do, so we'll try to finish off another BT in the background. And it's almost unfair. To the front, and that's done. Now we want to block the bridge. Once again, set up a trap. If they decide to attack, They will go for the anti-aircraft unit. That way we absolutely control what they are doing. And you might have seen in the weather report those dark clouds that pop up and go away, and that's the main reason why I had a hard time recreating this one, because when trying to redo it, I always got mud and rain in the wrong moment. And yeah, it looks rather easy right now, but this is a terrible mission. If you get mud and rain at the wrong moment, you absolutely lose the momentum and no chance you're going to get a decisive victory here. So this, like I said, is insanely difficult. Yeah, now we are trying to dig them out, just to be able to take the trenches and effectively block their movement here. But I don't want to go forward too aggressive here. One moment, because this KV-2 can decide any movement to go forward. It has a movement range of 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, so it can go right here. So don't position any units here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are glad if he moves here. So always keep in mind where they can go. I'm not worried that they will go in this direction because they can't see us here. This is exposed, so we will try to destroy it. Doesn't work out, but priority for the movement. Taking the trenches so that we can block the bridge. And now you see the next traps already in the process of getting created. So we show Oledir here. He is in the hills, guarded by artillery. If they go for him, yeah, great. If they go for this tank, they can't see this tank actually. So they might, if they go for Oledir, they might uncover those units, but not the artillery most likely. So another trap. But most importantly, anti-aircraft cannon. That's the perfect bait for the KV-2. He will definitely go for that and see what's ready in the background. Bad news for the KV-2. Here I'm just trying to prevent any movement, and I prepared to outflank them so that I can swing in and hit them from the side as well. This is a target they can't resist. Oh god. One moment. One moment. I hope. What's wrong with the game? So, what we did here. Let's stop and show that for a moment. So, and yeah, the KV-2 was baited by the anti-aircraft cannon, moved forward. Now I'm trying to suppress it a little bit, level bomber ahead, so that my 88 can safely attack. A lot of artillery shots going onto it. He is surrounded, so I will get mass attack bonus. And then we finally managed to destroy this BT by massive aerial bombardment combined with artillery and Oledir. And on this side, we're just waiting to go over the river and finally get rid of this anti-aircraft cannon, because then we can bombard them to the ground. Pushing him onto the river. Back and hopefully drain its ammo. We don't have to destroy him right now. He's really resilient, and the only thing that can really damage him is the 88. And now these conscripts are in the way. Now I'm trying to be extra smart by using the 88 as bait again. This is not exactly going according to plan, because this is too weak and the artillery in the back is going to suffer a lot. But yeah, I kind of overdid the trapping here. A 2 strength unit on the river is not exactly enough to stop them, whatever you do, and that's absolutely not necessary, because yeah, we don't need to bait them anymore. Just stay in artillery cover and slowly move forward and destroy the final moments of resistance. That's all you have to do here. Don't do any risky maneuvers in the last minute here. Again, trapping them, showing them the cavalry unit. We really want to distribute the damage to the auxiliary units. Again, showing them the auxiliary unit. Not that bad, because he is on the river and protected by artillery. And that's another mistake. I push forward with my Panzer. It's a much better idea to use the Panzerjäger to the front, just to accumulate damage on the Panzerjäger and not on our tank. But since I wasn't planning on doing this as my actual replay, or the thing I'm going to show, I just wanted to end it at this moment, and there are a lot of sloppy moves in the end. But again, unit by unit, we want to smash them. Dealing with the anti-aircraft cannon is the next objective. Like I said, would have been much better to use the Panzerjäger here. And by the way, from time to time, it's hard to see because it's moving that fast. I reinforced my auxiliary units, just to keep them in a condition so that they can actually trap something. Well, they're doing... Yeah, now they're going for the tank. That's what I said. Better to position Panzerjäger in the center, because, yeah, unnecessary damage here. Then we can surround and suppress and surrender. Those are already the final movements. Massive hit. Would have preferred to do less damage and get more experience. So let's stop for a moment. Hi Goose. Yeah, it's almost finished, and this I explained in the beginning why it's a replay. I might say something about that again. It's near impossible to reliably... I can reproduce it, but it's not not possible to reproduce it reliable doing it live streamed, because I always happen to hit mud or rain or a really extremely bad roll in a crucial moment, and then you simply can't win decisively. You can always do a marginal victory, but the decisive victory, everything needs to go kind of right. And there's a lot of bad weather in this one. So after attempting it 3 or 4 times and always got stuck in mud, I just decided, screw it. I'll show you the replay. It's not what I tend to do, but this one is too difficult. I can't do it. But it's still a fair replay. No tricks. All was scouted. All traps are based on knowledge actually scouted. The rolls are not tricked. This is basically in one go. There are some reloads in the process, like I said, where I just tried out different things. But this was because that was meant as proof of concept and not to show. Yeah, but Goose, this time it's not slow and steady, it's completely all out blitzkrieg. It's almost done by turn 9 or 10. The rest is just cleaning up. Yeah, trying to squeeze out the last bits of prestige. And here you saw some kind of wonky thing going on up here. That's because I had to reload the thing because I forgot to save. Of course. Of course. And as always, and I had to redo the last turn. Yeah, finishing it up. Yeah, but Goose, watch the whole thing. I think I came up with a quite interesting strategy that relies heavily on trapping and baiting. But that's it. Complete victory. Yeah. The first 9 or 10, yeah, actually the first 5 turns are crucial. If you manage to absolutely demolish the first wave of attack and knock out the scouts and the cavalry units, you've basically won already. But the tricky part is to get rid of them very quickly. If you lose time on that, yeah, it stacks up. Time you lose in the beginning, no way you're going to make it. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did, but this was really difficult and really, really stressful. So I'm glad I decided not to do that live, because that would have been a nightmare. Much more convenient to do it that way, but I will try to switch back to the live streaming, of course. Maybe, yeah, Albert Canal is the next one that's completely insane, I have heard, on Manstein, but we will try to figure that out. But I'm curious, try that for yourself. I suggested a few improvements in the process. If you implement those, I think you should have an easier time winning here. But still, don't expect to be able to win all the time. Sometimes a critical unit, crucial unit, slips away, and even if you have 2 units ready to kill it, extra units, they both miss, and then you're sad. Or you get 2 turns of mud, then you're very sad. So no way to guarantee it, like on the other ones, but good enough. And I would say you have a 25% chance with this strategy to do a decisive victory. If it's fully fleshed out, maybe you can go up to 30 or 40%, but a guaranteed victory I can't give you on that one. The Soviet units are simply too strong. If you terminally fail a roll, your units get one-shotted, no questions asked. So it's really tricky, trust me. So thanks for watching. See you next time, and looking forward to Wing Commander if someone wants to watch Lieutenant Joker stream. And yeah, the next one will be the Hawk from Lieutenant Joker, and I think Sedan is up on my channel next. I hope to do it next week. If not, it could take a little bit because I'll be on holiday, but not for too long, so won't be a long break. So have a nice day and see ya. Bye.